Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So I hope you are all good. And here we are, another day, connecting with the needs of the world. So this week I have been explaining about how to perceive the earth. And remember that there is no one place on earth that only means one organ or one region of the body. Remember that the distribution of the body of earth is very different because it's spheric, and of course we um, we we are distributed in a different way in our body, but some places on earth represent 2, 3, and even 4 regions of the body of earth. So it's different. So this is just for all of you to understand that sometimes I will be speaking of different things in the same region, and this is because we as humans are structured like this, okay, like this, but for Earth it's like different layers. So there's one layer over the other one, so that's why some places will represent the same, but it's because I am speaking or the inner part or the outer part or so on. So let's go today to the knees, and let's try to think about where we can find the knees. Just imagine this. So in order to understand it, we would do this with our knees. So I will position in this way, so I will be seated like the earth. So like this, in this position, I have the heart, which is Europe, and the 2 lungs, which are the Amazonia and the Congo. So if I have the heart here and the lung a little bit lower, so I will have Africa and Europe, and here I will have Middle East. And in the other side, being like this, with my chin here, will be Central America. Central America. So in this position of Earth, the knees will show us that these 2 joints are Middle East and Central America. Remember that in this path of acknowledging everything, we have to understand that the knees represent the flexibility, the history, the flexibility that we have in our path. So they represent the history of our own life. So also they represent the ancestors and everyone that made it possible for us to be here, which is mom and dad, the grandparents, and so on. Okay, so all this history of our ancestors is related to the knees, and we hold that information in that region of our body. So for the world, this information of mom and dad are related to Middle East and Central America. Middle East being the mom and Central America being the dad. So let's go to try to understand how they are formed, how they were created, so we can also understand why mom and why dad. So first of all, to understand the tectonic plates of Central America and from Middle East, they are not the main ones. They are not main tectonic plates. They are smaller plates, even made up with others, with different others, smaller ones, and they were created because of the pressure of all the other continents around. The two small tectonic plates, the one in Central America is created by fire, by volcanoes, and all these volcanoes start to create this tectonic plateau in the center. And the other one in Middle East is created by different islands that are put all together by the pressure of Africa and Laurasia, which is a continent, an older continent of Asia and Europe. They press to each other. So all these islands were in the Sea of Tethys, and Tethys doesn't exist anymore. So they were created there in the Sea of Tethys. And so one is created by fire, the other one is created by the pressure of land. Okay, so talking about Central America. The plateau of Central America is not called the Central American plateau or plate. It's called the Caribbean plate. Okay, so the Caribbean plate starts in south of Mexico and makes rise up the mountains of Chiapas, and from Chiapas it goes to the Caribbean Sea, to the south coast of Cuba. In front of Cuba, of course, it incorporates the Jamaica. Then it goes to Santo Domingo Island through Haiti and Dominican Republic, and it goes to Puerto Rico, and from there all the islands of the Antilles until Aruba, all touching the northern coast of Venezuela. And it gets inside the Guajira in Colombia and goes to the western mountains of the Andes in Colombia, coming up again through the coast of Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. So all this territory, the Caribbean plate, is what we also call the mouth of the planet. So imagine that every country in Central America, or every volcano in Central America, and every island, in the Antilles represents every tooth. So all the teeth of the planet. So imagine, for example, that one of these, the main teeth, this one is Cuba, and the other one aside is Santo Domingo. So these two represents the main teeth. The Caribbean plate is moving against the movement of the other two Americas. South America and North America, they are moving towards the Pacific Ocean, getting away from Africa. And the Caribbean plate, it goes straight to Africa. So it got into the middle of the two big continents and opened a path, raising up the Antilles. Central America represents the wise father, the father that came from the skies and brought the information to the heavens. And why is that? Because Central America as we have spoken before, represents with part of North America the Great Father, Mexico. So the wise man that brings the information from the skies towards the earth. And how it does this, sharing the wisdom, the information. So that's the mouth. The Caribbean is the mouth of this wise energy, and is brought by the ideas of South America, the third eye of South America, and the voice to create, to manifest, of North America. So in between South America in the head and North America in the throat, we have the mouth, the mouth, which is Central America. So geographically, imagine this, that in between the mind of the spirit in South America and the throat, the potential of the voice in North America, Central America, the Caribbean plate, is looking for Africa. So the information of the heavens dad, the father from the sky, that information is coming to seek for the mother, okay, in order to bring this information to be manifested, to become life here. So somehow what we can say is that the father is willing to come to the earth to manifest itself because it's in love with the mother. So he wants to come here to have a life, to have kids with this mother, with earth. So now you will see that all the American native people is related with the love to earth. And this is not because they represent the mother, it's because they represent the father that is willing to be with the mother, that is in love with the mother. So that's why all the wise people from the Americas that came into Central America download the information of the father, and they started to spread it towards North America and South America, connected the whole population in this love to Mother Earth, to the Pachamama, to connect with giving the to giving everything to the earth, to be connected constantly with the earth. So it's totally opposite. Maybe we could think that they were related with the mother, but no, they are the wisdom of the father, and that is why they connect with the body of the mother. They are in love with the mother earth. So now let's go to the other knee and how it began. Now, how this part of the world has been created. Well, remember this. In the other side of the world, Africa was going up towards the northeast, and the Laurasia, it was coming southwest. So both of them start to press to each other. And in the middle, there was the ocean of Tethys. So remember that the ocean of Tethys disappeared already, but remember about this, the India creating the Himalayas when it pressed the Tethys Ocean. So now is happening that. So Africa, India is all pushing up, and Laurasia is pushing down. So all the islands that were in the middle between these two continents around the region of the Tethys Ocean, they got all together, creating different layers of mountains that created the Middle East plate. The region of to delimitate the region of Middle East, what we are going to try to understand is all the regions that incorporate this plate, okay, which are Anatolia. Anatolia is the peninsula that we call today Turkey. So Anatolia and all the Aegean islands, also the peninsula of Peloponnese in Greece, all this region of the Aegean Sea, Crete Island, Cyprus, and by the north we go to the Caucasus Mountains that separate Russia from Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. Also, the whole region of Iran, part of Pakistan, and the whole Arabic Peninsula, incorporating the countries of Oman, Yemen, Arabia, Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Iraq, Jordania, the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt, Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria are all the countries and the territories that that represent Middle East. And this is, I repeat, this is a territory that is not part of Asia, not part of Europe, not part of Africa. These territories that I said are all territories from Middle East, from this plate. This territory is very important from the very beginning for us because it represents the place of the creation of the humans as we know them today. Because humans were, of course, created in Africa, but they started to migrate to Asia and Europe through Middle East. And in Middle East is where they started to discover how to sew, how to create their own food, how to become sedentary. So that's why they call it the Garden of Eden, because is where everyone was able to create themselves. Is where we have been created as humans, as we know today. So that's why in that region is the beginning of agriculture, is the beginning of the civilizations, of the first main cultures of the world, the main religions of the world, etc. So that's why it's so important. Also, it is a very important place for us because this is in the middle of all the path to other regions, like north, south, east, and west, connecting Europe, Asia, and Africa. So this is why all the migrations were connected in that territory. And this is why it was so important, this territory, to create all the cultures, because the interaction of all different perspectives used to go into Middle East. In this territory, also, way before the humans had arrived to America, the humans were created there as we are now. Okay, so this is the land of the creation. This is why this land is the one connected to the origins of our civilization, of the creation of all that we are. And this is why this land is connected to the mother, because we have come from the mud, from the ground, and we have been created from the very beginning in that land. So that's why that is the motherland for humans. And that's why in this Ni is related with the mother. So that's why Middle East is related to the history of our mother, the Mother Earth, the creator, the womb of our species, of who we are. If in America, Central America is the energy of the father coming down to seek for the energy of the mother because he's in love with the mother, so in Middle East, it would be the opposite. From the energy of the mother, we are going to start to look for the energy of the father in the skies, the stars, the heavens, the gods, trying to go to the other dimensions above, looking for the stars. So because the mother is in love with the father, reaching the enlightenment in order to fulfill its path to fall in love with him. So the mother is in love with the sky, with the father's sky. So this land in Middle East is the place where the womb of the mother opens to receive the seed of the father's sky. So that's why this land is the one that promoted the creation of the humans. It's a portal in between heaven and earth. So when the mother opens, the father's sky sends his sons and daughters from the skies here on earth. And because the earth was in love with the sky, they open for them to receive them. So this is when from the sky comes this Nephilim, these giants, these other beings from the sky that will have kids with the women and men from earth. So they create this new humanity and so on. Okay, so the people from the earth used to call those people from the sky the ones from the sky that those who are sons of the sky here on earth. They call it like this. We humans call them like this. And in the Sumerian language, en lengua sumeria, in the Sumerian language, they call these beings Anu means heaven, sky, Anu. Nuna means kids, the sons and daughters, and Ki means earth. So the sons of the sky here on earth is Anunnaki. Okay, so that's why we know them as Anunnaki, but this is not the name they would use for themselves. This is the name that we gave to them because we saw them coming from the father's sky. This is why in this territory they started to create the idea of this Eden garden, which is now below the Persian Gulf, below the water, but it's surrounded by the deserts, and that was like kind of the place of protection that they used to create the humans as we know them. So I know that maybe you have heard about the Anunnaki coming here to use us as slaves or whatever, but it's not that. It's not the main goal that they had. They came here for different things, and some of them used us as slaves, but many of them don't. They helped. Okay, many of them helped humans to be what they are. Okay, so as always, there's good people, bad people everywhere. So it's not that the Anunnaki came here to control us, but there were some of them that they did. Now we have mom and dad. Mom and dad. Maybe we hate mom and dad. Maybe we don't like them, but they are mom and dad, and they live within us, and they are our history. So even if we hate Anunnaki, if we hate reptilians, if we hate the people from Middle East, if we don't want their religions or their governments or whatever they are doing, and if we don't, if we hate them because of whatever, and we hate also, I don't know, the wars of the Mayan culture, the Aztec culture, fighting all the conflicts in Central America, the reptilians in Central America, all the control, etc., etc. Maybe we are fighting our dad and mom, but here's when we have to do a great family constellation by saying, whoever doesn't honor mom and dad, whoever doesn't honor its own roots, won't be able to give good fruits. So to honor, it doesn't mean to honor the history. It doesn't mean that you have to accept or to agree with what happened. You don't have to agree with when you honor your dad, your mom. You don't have to agree with them, with their beliefs, with their religion, with their way of thinking. They had their own way. So it's not about accepting their beliefs or just being with the same belief. That's not honoring. To honor our ancestors, to honor our history, is about to acknowledge that I wouldn't be what I am right now, what I love of me and what I love from the world right now, if it wouldn't be because of them, because of their path. What they did was what created me, what made me who I am. That's honoring. Honoring is not about accepting or agree. That's the word. It's not about agree what happened. No, it's about honoring. And how do you honor? By accepting that was the history, that accepting that, okay, they gave me something good. They helped me to grow, to transform myself, to understand many things. Sometimes the greatest enemies that we have in our history or in our lives are the greatest masters, because they are the ones that shows us who we are. And that's why by thanking them is how I transcend that history. If I don't honor my roots, I won't be able to give seeds to the future. So just to wrap this idea, not all the Jewish people are Zionist. Not all the Hebrew people are Jewish. Not all the Israeli people are Hebrew. And what I mean with this is that we should not say, oh, all these people is the one that is doing this or that, because we usually do this. It's something that we used to do. And it's not about that. It's not about saying, oh, this group or this, because we do the same with the reptilians, with the Anunnaki. We do all these kind of things constantly. We are all free individuals. And we can choose what we want to be. So there's bad choices and good choices. It doesn't matter. But it's not all of them doing one thing. So for example, I am not Jewish, I am not Muslim, I am not Christian, but I thank them. I thank them because without their own path, without the path of their history, I wouldn't be here speaking about all this. So it's because them that I am being able to do what I do now. And this is to start to honor our dad and mom from the past. not only honoring our physical and biological mom and dad, but also the historical mom and dad. So remember, we have them in Central America and Middle East. Okay, so information for today. The vibration is Thu. The statement for today is I am the celestial path. The quote for today is the records. The water of the ocean is the memory of the universe. Every drop of water is the cosmos in the cosmos has the experience of every entity living in it. And therefore, by becoming it, we get the potential of all the being that once had it within. The records are a web of information equivalent to the neurons in a brain or the drops of water of an ocean. They are the memory of the cosmos, like a public library where all beings have access to if we know how to read its books. Let's go to the alignment. Sit comfortable and start to breathe always by the nose. Concentrate in your breathing. I remember that my body is the summary of all the animal kingdom. So, in my path of consciousness, I bring them all, guiding them towards enlightenment. Inspiro profundo. I take a deep breath, and I remember that I find myself surrounded by all these animals in the Africa's savanna. I observe in the horizon to the north the celestial color of the skies. Breathe deep and go higher as you can see the entire Africa from above, perceiving it surrounded by this light blue color in the atmosphere from the skies. I bring my hands to my knees, recognizing that I am going to begin this path through the skies, trying to be flexible, walking through it in order to honor and recognize my mom and dad from Earth. I see beyond the Atlantic Ocean in one side of Africa, and in the other side, crossing the Red Sea, my historical mom in Middle East, and my historical dad in Central America. I give my first step with my right foot. I observe this path of islands in front of me. As I get closer to the Caribbean Sea, I see the island of Trinidad, and in front of Venezuela, Aruba and Curacao. I see the line of islands going up with these small countries reaching Puerto Rico, the great Santo Domingo, and Cuba. I feel them all within me. I feel from Cuba in front of me the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, guiding me to the mountains of Chiapas, and from there through the volcanoes in each country in Central America. And I observe all these islands connecting in the highest point of Sierra Nevada with its snow in Santa Marta, Colombia. From the holiest and highest point of the Caribbean, I go up, bringing the energy of the Father and the Mother, searching through the skies to reach how to come back through Middle East. And below me, I can see the great portal of Hormuz, the door of the sun. I enter the portal of Hormuz to the Garden of Eden, surrounded by the desert of Arabia and Iran, following the sacred rivers up through Iraq, reaching the mountains of Anatolia in Turkey and the great Armenia. And I see the portal of the skies opening through the Sinai Peninsula, rising up through the Jordan River, through the land of enlightenment, illumination. Israel, Palestina, Jordania, Líbano, Syria. And I recognize my mother and my father in this land. I am the son and the daughter of the heaven on earth. I am what I am, thanks to my father, sky, and my mother, earth, and its history is my skin, and my path is celestial. I am the celestial path. I am the celestial path. I am the celestial path. As you breathe deep, bring this consciousness through your body from your knees, acknowledging that you honor what you are, honoring your dad and mom of history through the planet Earth. And each one at its own time, come back here and now. Thank you everybody for being there, and as always, see you tomorrow at the same time for the feet.